Hey, shoo! We are back. Welcome. It's your boy MX Ep8 Pokey. And today, guys, this is actually a special episode. This is a very, very special episode. I've got a guest. He's a film maker, director, actor, production manager. And I don't know, man, I'm just super excited to introduce him. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to you guys Siyavuya. What's up,
man.
bro? What's up, man? I'm glad that you pulled up.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Unjan. They're feeling good.
Faith, so if you don't mind just telling everybody who's watching who you are and what do you do.
So basically, guys, what I do is I'm a filmmaker. I don't necessarily like to classify myself as one thing, but I think I wear these four hats in particular. I'm a writer, I'm a film producer, I am a director and an actor. So yeah, I was trained as an actor actually.
Damn.
Yeah, and then these they came later after the acting thing. So yeah,
That's exciting.
those are my titles. Yes.
So you
So
do,
many titles.
yeah. So you do all four on your day-to-day basis.
But it depends on what you're working on, right? Because initially, so here's this whole thing went about. I was trained as an actor, and then when I graduated, I realized that you need to be more than an actor in order for you to survive in this industry, right? Then I was like, what else do I love without me ditching the love for acting? Then I was like, okay, I remember on my third year, I did something theater directing. I was like, I liked what I did. So let me just try and tap into it. Then I went into directing. I was like, okay, but still, in order for you to be a director, it's very hard for production companies to trust you without having had directed anything. I was like, well, let me try writing so that I can write my own thing and direct it and also act in it. That's how it goes.
Multi-talented.
I'm going to be diving deep down because I saw some of your works and I want us to discuss further in regards to that. And I think a lot of us can learn from you, especially someone who's done so much in the industry at a very young age. So we dropped.
I'm in trouble, am I not?
Listen, so we dropped our episode, our 7th episode. Very exciting. So last week there was a bit of an uproar on social media. Why is that? It's because there was a comment made on Facebook.
All right.
Is a woman's value decided by a man, basically? So then in the comment section, we see a lot of men, bevuma, beti yes, a man determines the value of a woman. And then so on and so forth, women defending other women, some women agreeing with the fact that men, yes, are the ones who see value in us, some disagreeing with that, and made a couple of statements that a lot of people were really happy about. Agreeing.
Her people, by the way.
Being on the side where he agreed on the fact that umuntu wesilisa determines if umuntu wesifazane, which I agree, I disagree, right?
Wait, you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Okay,
I completely disagree.
All right.
Not only am I a woman of value, right? But I don't see I don't see how that would make sense, because without a man, it should say I'm not valuable. So that's where a lot of women were just having a bit of a back and forth in regards to that. And then some women didn't see me comment, or some people would have loved to hear what I had to say about that, and they didn't get a chance to do so.
No, man, this ain't about me. I feel like I spat nothing but facts, spat nothing but facts.
You're not doubling down.
No, I'm not, because ekugcineni as well, when we had the discussion, I established ukuthi a woman is valuable in a different way to a man. You even said that point. I would say the timestamp if I knew. So men and women need each other. Don't misconstrue or listen to this narrative of like men ultimately decide the value of a woman. No, it's a dance. It's a mixture of both. It's a hybrid. Where I was coming from with all that is most the things that we like as men. We spoke about this. You see, I don't want to feel like I'm repeating it, but our values are inverted, meaning that when you are a female, when you are younger, you have the most value. Hence why you are protected. And men, they don't give a shit about you, like who you are, what you got going on. You almost feel invisible. We know this as guys going through 18, 19, 20. The people who are in our age group that we want to be with, they're looking at older guys. Girls mature faster. There's a lot of double standards. And then as men, as we build ourselves and we're able to provide security, and we become real men and we have options, we get attracted to youth. So if that's cancelable and I'm weird, and it's like, no guys, iqiniso lelo. So I'm not going to listen to this rhetoric of boss lady. We're not attracted to what you guys can provide to us. We are attracted to the values that you have, that you are born with, that you're able to retain. Sorry.
Actually, what you said is a fact. I don't think it's an opinion, right? I'll try and expand on it. But my first point is, depending on the context, I don't know the last week's context, but I personally don't think that a value of a woman is attached or is contingent on a man. Yeah. I think a woman is valuable on her own, and I also think a man is valuable on his own as well. But to Mvelo's point, I completely do agree with it. The fact that you guys, like on your early 20s, you have leverage on relationships.
Okay.
You're almost like the new kid on the block, right? But what usually happens is you blow all the chances to get like a sustainable relationship because you have all these men approaching you, right? And then when you get like into your late 20s or into your early 30s, you're no longer the girl that you used to be in your 20s. And you start like paying attention to almost like any man that hits you up. Whereas us as men, when we are in our early 20s, we can't get any girl or we can't fuck whoever the fuck we want to fuck because we don't have the dollar and we're not as valuable. But when we get to like our 30s and we have money, now we can start getting, with whoever that we want to get with. So yeah, I do agree with his point, but I also don't agree that the value of a woman is contingent on a man.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand why that would be the case. So with that being said, how do you think a woman should maybe move in their younger years in order to maybe not make decisions some of us might make with the relationships that we find ourselves in? Sometimes we're going to say that we don't see these good men that we can possibly, yes, we don't see, because you're not in spaces anjalo. Most of the time you at home or you in places where you can be more productive. So in your later stage in life, you can become a more productive citizen and things like that. So where do we meet guys like that at our younger age? Because la isiyakhona thina asiniboni sesejani.
Oh, you're asking it wrong. Me, thing is like I can have an opinion, but with relationships, dog, I've never even lasted a year. I've never even lasted a year in a relationship, dog. But wait, I think if you women were to be honest, you hate broke niggas. That's where the danger is. Women don't like men that are not financially stable. That's what I've noticed in not even like personally where I'm dating, even like friends around. I've noticed that women don't fuck with guys without the bag. Now that does not mean they would never have the money. It's just like you guys are more of like in the moment than longevity.
That's true.
And then you drain that opportunity. Maybe it's a guy that really loved you, but there was also a MX that had money and lied to love you, and then you left him. And then, I think you only fall in love not so many times. So you only have like few opportunities to get into that relationship. And maybe it could have been that guy that you thought, oh, he doesn't have the bag, and then I'm gonna leave him for MX, and then.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't you think maybe the self-esteem of a man who doesn't really have much might also affect the relationship, and the dynamics of it, you know? Because attitude yo muntu wesilisa mhlambe unganayo into ethile, it's very difficult at some it becomes very difficult and heavy for a relationship where you wanna just be in love with someone and not think about the fact that ngengikwazi kwenzakala into enjena, this is what's happening in my life right now. The whole relationship starts becoming a bit of a sob story.
I think it depends on also the girl that you're dating.
Yes.
If whether do you keep highlighting Obana, you're this guy and you don't have such and such, then if you're doing that, it's obviously going to affect his self-esteem. But if you're supportive, right, or rather if you're cognizant of this, maybe his financial situation, whatever, I don't necessarily think that could be a factor.
Okay.
What do you think?
So I think we should, let's do this. It's only fair.
Okay.
Andile, what do you want in a man? You asked me and Ustay what we want in a woman. We told you,
that is a good
and
question.
I can remember, we would appreciate you, a great family, no social media, or even if you do have social media, but low amounts of followers, you can see you're not superficial or too dependent on it. Like if it's your career and whatnot, remember anomalies do exist. You can be popping and all this stuff, but it's so attractive. And it's like, wow, they're not even popping. You know, we like those things. That's what we like as men, from my understanding. So what do you want in a man? Or because you tell us, well, where do we find, what do you want in a man? Give us those attributes if you don't mind.
So some of the attributes that from the top of my head, first of all, is someone that's ambitious. Someone you can see that is working towards, is not again umuntu othanda ukukhuluma kakhulu, but is working towards lezinto lezi ayishoyo, you know, is working towards something. Someone who is passionate, someone who is protective, someone I can feel secure around. Why secure? I mean, I absolutely love privacy, right? So I want to feel like every part of me is protected when I'm around Leomund. And I don't want to fight her. But I want someone that I could feel, whatever I share with them is something between him and I, right? Someone who is...
this is your ideal man, yeah? Mr. Perfect. No, you could be listening, so keep going.
Hold on, wait.
Okay,
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Would you date a broke man?
Yes.
You would.
Yeah.
Cap.
Yeah.
That's something they always say, bro.
I
All
know.
of them. Like, don't... Are you...
You know, honestly,
Okay, please expand
Yeah,
if you
it's
can.
found.
honestly, I would. Because the things that I'm naming doesn't need umuntu ukuthi ebe nemali. It needs umuntu ukuthi ebe nalama attributes lawo. And I do want someone who's able to sustain ukuphila emhlabeni lo esiphila kona, right? Sustain certain things. Umuntu akwazi the basics.
Like what?
Shelter.
Okay.
Rent. Getting, being able to take care of themselves. Yabo? Being able to ukuhambe efika la efuna ukuya khona. Even though it's not too far, maybe it's around the corner, kodwa when uyakwazi ukufika la ufuna ukuya khona, right? So I think that's something that I want, and then I believe.
Can you physically describe them if you don't mind? Like, does it not matter? Like, they can be shorter than you, overweight.
To be honest,
like
no.
what? Yeah, just your ideal man.
To be honest, ngingathanda isifiso sami umuntu taller than me. I'm quite short.
Okay.
Yabo.
No, that's reasonable.
Definitely someone taller than me, someone who is healthy. Yabo. Hayi umuntu who is uyambona ukuthi unama complications health wise. So I don't necessarily know if that comes with a specific type of weight or body shape. If when u healthy kwile shape oyona, that's perfectly fine for me.
Most females are like you, Andil. They seek someone who's better than them in every way physically. Not that they have boobs or... No, I don't mean it like that. Back to my point of, we are strong at different stuff. We look for certain attributes from the opposite. So you want someone who's bigger, taller, someone better. So now, why do you want to exert control over them because they're not your equal. So that's why it contradicts itself quite a bit when you say, well, you so like that's so aggressive, that's so weird, I want him to listen to me, I must be in control, like all that stuff is just fairy tales. It just sounds good. I'm a boss lady, I got my own money. No, you're not going to respect that person because you've already said, Uguti, no, this is what I want for my ideal.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I think also, I would say with social media plays a huge role. Single family households that are run by women play a role. They see their mothers in their masculine at all times, 24/7, especially when a father's not in the home, right? So now you feel like, okay, maybe this is how I need to act within this world, right? And no woman really wants to be put in that position. Even as much as we can say, I'm a strong, independent woman, so on and so forth. You know, I see a lot of videos of women who are now in their late 40s, going into their 50s, wishing to have that person, wishing to have experienced life with umuntu that would be able to take the load away from them, you know, alleviate them from some of the pressures that unfortunately life put them in some of those positions. That's why I asked you the question, Obuti, how can women better get in? How could women necessarily find those men since you know? So.
Maybe it's what do you think?
I think maybe it could also be where you're looking. Maybe you're looking into wrong spaces. Maybe you're looking at wrong particular men. Obviously, you're not gonna give every single man attention, but just also remove all these boxes that you want them to tick, and just look at it at surface level, like because when you have all these expectations, you're almost like limiting yourself.
Sure.
So I think when sorry to cut you, I think her question is very important. Like she's saying, where does she find like the right man?
In her heart. No, you guys are laughing, but think about it. Think about it.
Okay, cool.
We don't want to use Andile as an example, but let's take Uzama as example, right? Uzama is the same age as Andile, in the same circles, doing her thing, successful, working hard, focused.
Uzama who? Sorry.
No, Zama is a prototype.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to use names.
Like, okay. Cool.
Uzama's a prototype because I don't want to say names. So once you say names, it's like, So I'm just saying, like me now, I'd be like a John, whatever. But Uzama, by a certain age, we all go through different encounters, just like how we experience puberty. We all go through natural progressions through life. So what I'm saying is, by a certain age, your potential spouse has approached you probably, but they didn't meet certain criteria.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
So essentially what we are hearing, because it's womanese, she basically saying, I'm realizing late that I was sleeping on the value I had. When you're young and you're beautiful, the world is your oyster. Men are so there's no way to, I don't have an answer to it, but maybe because today is the youngest you'll ever be, is to just appreciate the value you have and not be so egocentric.
Okay.
That's just like the nice way of saying it. Like, I feel cool because you will get humbled by the universe. That is but it's never too late, right? You no coconut event, you can do it.
Can I ask her the last question? So obviously you're a good-looking woman, right? And I'm sure, okay, cool. I'm sure guys are also approaching you, right? So in all these guys that are giving you attention, have you not found a potential one?
No, I have.
You have? Oh, kanti sibuza ntoni? What are you asking?
No, I'm just asking for...
Not for yourself.
Not for myself.
Okay, got you. All right.
Nama was once in that position.
All right, got you.
You know,
Okay, now we could be...
Did you know that, bro? I didn't know that.
Gambuza
You say the reason Mabalega, and not to put the light on Poki, but girls have options. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, they do.
No. Wait, let me break it down. Options in the sense, we're going to say, who's saying this week I can talk to another friend.
Yeah.
Well, like they just have options. But guys, that's why guys are the way they are. Very like, well. But then a guy who has his stuff together and isn't and they're busy on their purpose, right? Their career, they ain't got time to be playing games.
Zero,
they don't have time to be chatting to you all day. I got time to be chasing my purpose, and I think that makes you more attractive to the others.
First qualification was a duty. Obviously, like I explained, I studied drama in there. And not to brag. Like, no, seriously, I need to give flowers to one of my classmates that are doing major moves in the industry. Guys like Otemi Gosimtembu. I'm sure that was my classmate. Tobani Nzuza, they really doing, so shout outs to them. Those are the guys I went to the acting school with. But I sort of felt like my path was beyond acting, to be honest. And also the other reason why I kind of moved away from acting to, even though I still do, to producing, writing and directing is because I want to tell my own story. Because if you're acting on somebody's show, no disrespect, but that is somebody's idea that you're working on. It's not your own idea. So if I'm producing or have written something, I'm directing, that is my own story, that is my own voice. So that was also the objective of trying to get into the other aspect.
Tell us about that feeling. Like, what was your first production that you saw on TV? I know personally through, but I want you to tell us through that feeling, like from your hand on paper, and then next thing you got on TV. Like, what was that process?
Hold on, you mean my production, something that I've done?
That you were involved in.
So the first thing that was on TV that I produced and acted on it was last year, the short film, Better Way to Die. It was on BET. Can I say the name? Yeah, it was on BET, right? But the feeling, I didn't watch it, bro. Yeah, it feels weird watching your work, to be honest. Yeah, because it's something that I've worked on months and months from the inception. I was like, so I didn't watch it, but the feedback was quite positive and I liked it. So it premiered last year around September, right? Okay. And then I hadn't seen it the whole year, and I started watching it this October. So, that was the feeling.
How many episodes was it?
No, it was a short film. It wasn't a series. Yeah, no, it was a short film. It only played once. Obviously, the repeats. That was my first time seeing something that I
Very
produced.
Interesting one. We're actually going to go a bit into that because I also watched a bit of it.
You did? Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
So I want us to talk about that, but let's go back to you being a DUT.
Yeah.
So DUT is Durban University of
Technology. Yeah.
So the name says that it really its main focus is technology, right? But I see that it has become the hub of so many amazing talents in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
I've seen your likes of Wiseman Mncube. We've seen on, I was first.
Literally, bro, everybody that's on TV, I kid you not, everybody that's on TV is from DUT. It's not a lie, bro.
From the river to the wife.
The wife. Gwenzo was. Yeah.
Yes, to so many amazing talents. Why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, bruh. I can only speak for the drama department.
Okay.
I think we act, bro. Like, that's all we do. Acting, I kid you not, acting is all we do. I remember, so this is how this thing goes. If there is 40 third years, right?
Okay.
There's going to be 40 shows. Do you know what I mean? So imagine 40 shows a year, and people are cast in different shows. Yeah. So all we do is act. I also currently now doing my postgrad at WITS, but not in drama, but in in film. But I've noticed they are, no disrespect to Wits, that's my family too, but their way of drama is way too different from us at DUT. They are more like in book, and we are more like in stage, practical.
Oh, yes.
So yeah. So they're more academic and we're more practical. So that's the reason why DUT produces great actors.
Because I was wondering that, because Nami, I'm a former AFTA student.
Oh yeah, you're from AFTA?
Yes.
Oh, okay. AFTA students are actually very cocky.
Yeah, DUT.
No, bro, AFTA, that's how you guys are notoriously known in the industry, as being cocky.
I've heard. It's, which is quite unfortunate.
Is it new?
No. I know I know the conceptions about the different.
Which is quite unfortunate, but yeah, I've heard. So with that being said, because I know that the industry is something that's very attractive to many young people, right?
Yeah.
So we see a lot of people on social media, your TikToks, your YouTubes doing their little productions there, which is very exciting that they're making use of technology in that sense.
Yeah.
So for someone who is about to, who might find themselves at DUT, right, and in drama school, what are some of the ways that they could take advantage of resources in order to maybe better
whatever that they do.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think don't put your eggs in one box, because everybody that goes to DUT at drama school is not going to be a famous actor at the end of the day.
That's right.
I know a lot of peers of mine that were exceptional actors, but they haven't gotten their opportunity. And remember, although you may be hardworking and extremely talented, this whole shit is about preparation and luck at the end of the day.
That's right.
So don't put your eggs in one box. Try different things. Be like myself. Not in an arrogant way, but do different things, man. Maybe you may find out that you're a good writer, and maybe you could possibly write something. You're going to act on it, and as a lead, so now you're no longer expecting somebody to give you a job. You're giving the job to yourself. So yeah, I think DUT is the best, but also when you get there, do not put your eggs in one box.
I think this links so beautifully with what we were saying last week, Andy. The Uguti, they told us a lie growing up. Uguti, you will change the world. No, the quote is, you will change the world if you apply yourself and you change yourself first, and then you can impact others. So I think you need that fluidity and just being open and being able to, like, I do want to do this, but then once you're like, nah, and you be honest with yourself and you look at the different facets, you'll see what you're strong in and excel in. That's a fact.
About being uncomfortable, I'm actually just going to take you a bit back.
Okay.
It's something that you had mentioned, what you were uncomfortable with, was watching yourself on
TV.
On film, right?
Yeah.
So when I was doing a bit of my research on you, I stumbled upon your YouTube channel, right?
Oh, yeah. It's not like a YouTube channel. Okay, cool.
Let's go into something that I think is very, very important. It's about the short film, the BET film, right? It's called A Better Way to Die.
Yeah.
So,
So
a bit of a synopsis.
that film anyway was written by a guy called Mlungis, and he directed it and executive produced it just for credits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. So basically, synopsis. It's a film about two individuals who meet on a rooftop, right? The reason why is because they had a similar goal. The goal was to end their lives, right? So then they bond over trying to end their lives on the rooftop, right? And with that being the case, and especially because now we live in a world where young people are, go back and forth with such a unfortunate thoughts. I think most, if not all of us, have gone through real thoughts at some point in our life, right? How is it being part of a production that hits home to so many young people? And I'm not sure, maybe yourself even, right?
Myself even.
So how is it like being in a production like that?
To be honest, when you're in a production, sometimes, especially on the role that I was playing, I was doing a lot of things. It's very hard to be attached to the story.
Okay.
we're very cognizant of the subject matter, especially with the actors.
Yeah.
Making sure that some lines, they don't trigger whatever that they could be going through, or some scenes. Do they feel like 100% comfortable in executing this scene? Do you feel like we should change this? You know what I mean? So we even had like an external person on the film, just to an experienced person, just to make sure that it's well executed. We're not crossing any lines that we're not supposed to cross. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. And did you battle with any of your own emotions going through taking part in such a production?
Yeah, I would say like I don't know. Am I lying when I say suicidal thoughts are relatable? Have you ever had them?
Yeah, I have.
Have you? Do you know what I mean? I think it's something that we as people should be honest with ourselves, that I don't want to call them normal, but it's something that we all have. Yeah. Everybody has thought of ending their lives when shit was not going accordingly. So I sort of have, but like not to an extent where I attempted to just like, take a knife, a gun, whatever. I have never been to that stage, but obviously I've felt like I want to die.
Yeah, I think, sure. It's a very relatable thing, and I relate with him with the fact that you'll think of the thought, but then you're not brave enough to see it through. I just think as Inja, or the youth of South Africa, in all our different situations, we all come from like a PTSD heavy, whether it's society not feeling comfortable. So it's very relatable. Yeah, but I'm not like brave enough, so I don't even feel comfortable speaking on it, especially when people have been affected by it. Yeah, so like it's what I take from this, and what I respect the most about Usia is to be, and this is what art is about. Yeah. Like I hate it when they call it content. That's commentary. That's something that can move someone and make them look at life a different way.
No, I'm just saying, like I'm not like an expert. I think shout outs to the writer for actually choosing this type of subject matter, because also in film, when you have a script and you need money for the script to be produced, you go to the funders and they say, is this commercially viable? Meaning, is it going to be able to sell tickets at the box office? And this type of movie is not the type of movie that would sell seats at the box office. Do you know what I mean? Because it's obviously not talking subject matters such as love, crime, and whatnot.
But moving on from there, what do you have coming up?
So currently I have this film that I am working on. It's on development. It's not like it's not an already made film. It's on development. It's the name of the film is The Price. The funny story about this film is we wrote it, myself and Utemkos. We wrote it in 2017, like years ago. And it's been on my head, like, how do we make it better? Like, and then it just like kept improving. And I applied for funding for development, and I bagged it. And currently...
Don't fly through that. You got that funding. Come on,
yes, sir.
Come on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. So it got funded, and last week I learned that the film is going to travel to Rwanda. I don't know whether I'm mentioning it correctly. Rwanda, yeah.
Wow. Rwanda?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's in East Africa, if I'm not lying. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is it past Congo?
I think it's next to Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's next to Nigeria. So it's like, I'm very looking forward to that, because there's going to be distributors such as Netflix and whatnot. And, so before we move on, what do you call this movie? In Catching Feelings, or Apocopoltus something.
I think I saw.
I see the film that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
The
Name, yeah. So basically, the guy went to Toronto International Film Festival, and the movie was not recognized at all. But in that theater where the movie was showcasing, there were people from Netflix, and they liked it and they put it on Netflix. Then he created a relationship with Netflix people, and they gave him money again to create Queen Sono. So that's the nice thing about going to these festivals, is because you can never know which distributor that you can walk into and what happens after. So I'm excited.
Bro, this is like, yo, ngathi come back to Guys, I just want to take this moment and just like, yo, bro, like it's so dope to watch your trajectory and how you navigate this industry.
Thank you, man.
But before we even go further forward, I thought it would be nice to mention, guys. Was this after or before looting, bro? Remember this?
Oh,
When
flip.
was this?
This was literally during looting.
Yeah, we're just doing a
Yeah.
quick deep dive. You guys are gonna see the picture on camera.
Yeah, it was hectic.
So
it was last year,
yeah,
right? It
was it last year? 2020.
Definitely. I was actually in the
tell us
middle
about
of
this.
I was in the middle of shooting my film. This thing, Doug, it really fucked us up because remember our scenes were in the city, and we had to cut the production because we couldn't shoot, and it affected us in terms of budget. On this picture,
Yeah.
I was actually passing by, I think Gwangase 320 or
320,
something, yeah.
yes.
And the building was burning and people had phones videotaping. And, you know, I felt as if I could like offer my hand however I can. And I just went there and helped. Yeah.
Not sure if you guys remember this picture of the mother who dropped the
baby.
in the crowd.
Yeah.
That's what he's referring
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
He was actually involved in helping
And yeah.
the mother actually rescue the child. Bro,
And I was there, yeah. You was, yeah, bro. Were you helping as well? Wait, were you looting or explain? Oh, you were helping. Oh, okay. Do you know the funny thing I realized, Doc, on that particular day or on this particular moment, right?
Yeah.
Most of these guys are coming from Zimbabwe, you know, from the foreign countries. And they were helping, Doc.
Yeah.
And Tina woke South Africans were taking videos.
Yeah.
And what happens, the first thing that we do when we feel like they're taking our jobs is we ban them. And that shit is so stupid. It's one of the most ridiculous things we South Africans do. I will never understand that.
Bro.
I literally had an epiphany the other day. I was like, I looked around these guys. Most of them, they foreigners.
No, bro. Let's. There's a film to be told through that
Yeah.
that I'm putting in your hands in the future, because
yeah.
you're touching a very powerful insight over there of like Oput Gnosis to love.
Dog, yeah.
But we end up like, you know, and when it comes to situations like this. I think that we all know that, bro. And yeah,
and this was what
I just thought we should dive in this,
on
because
this a little bit.
It's another side of you that I don't think people really know, unless if they know you. You know, like
ordinary guy, Doug.
well, an ordinary guy doing extraordinary things through film. Not everyone is on BET and he's that kind of person.
I mean, he's a guy, bro. He's a guy.
Yeah. So moving forward from there, I don't know. Oh yes, you were telling us Rwanda. So how far is that, bro? Like, Ghana. Are you guys driving?
Driving to Ghana, this nigga.
Hey, listen.
No, but
listen. I got a
your
friend
geography
from Zambia.
is bad, right?
I got a friend from Zambia.
Zambia is not far from SA,
Okay,
dog.
so-
Rwanda is up there. It's almost like North Africa, like.
Okay, guys, I'm not traveled.
No, I get it. Geography. No, I'm not gonna be driving. It's very far. But I think if you're flying to Rwanda, I've never been also, but I think it's almost like 6-hour flight.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not bad. What a comfortable flight.
Yeah, 6 hours is not
Compared
bad.
to, others.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, well, we'll have our eyes glued on social media. We're super excited.
And also, yeah, when you guys watch this film, trust me, I kid you not, bro. I'm not feeling myself right now, but I do believe that this is when I finally produce this film. You're gonna have to go back to this pod, look at what I said. Like, I personally believe it's gonna be one of the best films.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, this is why we had to bring you up over here, you know?
Trust me, bro. Trust me. You hired. You hired my G. You hired my G.
Right.
You hired.
Yeah, so you're looking towards what, end of year, next year type of vibe?
In production.
Well, how long will it take to develop?
Oh, to develop. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm finishing the development process in next year. Next year, like March. Yeah.
Super exciting.
And then I get into production.
That's exciting.
I know, right?
Talking about exciting.
Yes.
Now
What you got?
let's go into some of the topics that have been trending this week. Let me break it down.
Do you know about this?
So Zanele is Sfuba, if I'm not mistaken, is Sfuba, right? Is Ubani public speaker?
Yes.
Public for who? Government?
Yes, government.
Do you know who that is?
I don't know. Sounds like a politician or something.
Is a politician.
Okay.
She is a politician.
Parliament.
Yes, she's definitely a politician. So what happened was, umuntu that she was in a relationship with decided to extort her for 300K.
Yeah.
So what happened was, Uti, in order for me to not release a sex tape between a sexual interaction between you and I via video call, pay me 300K, right, for me not to release that private. Yes. What? Yes, definitely. What did you know? So, like Uste had mentioned, which I didn't know about, he had lowered the fee to 250K, right? Yeah. And then what Mama still no release it. So then it made rounds on social media.
Oh wow!
So then we saw her. Yes, she does. But I'm not sure what happened after that in regards to her working, her ability to continue with Italiak. But what's more important is the fact that women we always advocate for each other. And we saw this as a sense of another woman being victimized no, I don't like this reaction. Okay.
I don't like what I'm hearing.
I also don't like it. I know where this is going, bro.
Okay, fine. So
all right, let's let it finish.
Okay,
sorry. Let me try and women were advocating, saying that lenti rongi, it's a breach of privacy, so on and so forth, right?
That's right.
And it's illegal, right? Extortion is illegal. But most men saw the hypocrisy of this, being that how women were basically reacting to SK Khoza when he released his sex tape with a woman doing the most to
But
her.
with SK, sorry to cut you, he released. Okay, I don't know who leaked it, so.
Yeah, man. Shout out
He
to
mentioned-
SK.
he
SK is
mentioned-
very talented, dog.
Yes,
That's my dog.
but apparently he leaked it himself in order to get subscriptions on OnlyFans, right?
Oh, he's got an OnlyFans.
Yes, he's got an OnlyFans.
Angazi phela mina
Yes.
lezinto.
So that
Wena ushela ngama-BKL no-OnlyFans. Mina angizazi lezi zinto.
as well as our minister Ukikaba.
Yeah.
Ukikaba.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were saying, why did it not
The
why is it
outrage.
not the same for Ukikaba? They sexualized him even further
Yes.
after a release of a sex tape app. Right, and also Uzondo, where we saw him and his nakedness, and they also said Ululu Cafe, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So basically, I wanted your opinion in regards to that.
So I'll guess that
Why is it the case that most men don't necessarily defend each other in Ama cases, Anjin, and why are they looking to women to defend them?
Okay, let me start answering. Or do you want to take it? You can take it.
No, for nobody video.
Nah, dog. It's all
Right.
Nah, it's all right.
I'm kidding. No, you go, bro.
I'll just be real with you, man. Like, I'm already the bad guy. Guys, real guys. Yes, we use social media, but we don't care about it like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's an in social media. So not that we all have social media, right? WhatsApp's a form of social media. But I'm saying the men who really, like, we don't really that invested in it. So you asked, I'm answering to the point, why do men not stand up for each other? Bro, I don't have time to stand up for you on something you did
On
to
your dick
yourself.
also, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ladies, women are always on social media. So I feel good psychologically, yeah, it's probably easier because phone. Yeah, well, it's always on the phone. Obviously we all use phones, but I'm just saying Uguti, real guys don't really care about issues and causes like that on the phone. They'd rather do stuff in real life. That's my opinion on that.
And also, if it's something that I saw on my timeline, it's something I would scroll and forget about it.
We
That's
use
how
social
much
media.
I don't care.
We use social media to look at stuff that looks cool, right? Yeah, work. But it's mainly like you go there, as you're saying, you're just scrolling to look for something nice, or maybe you're not really invested on local. Like I didn't even know about
I don't even
and
know
and I also just think like psychologically, Ben 10 culture is more appropriate than sugar daddy culture. That's just my own take. In the sense, to my point earlier, Uguti, our values are inverted. So we're no yeah, if you can pull a sugar mama, nice on you. But then if it's an older ubaba nomkhaba, you know who I'm talking
Have
about.
you ever had a sugar mama dad?
Hi, bo.
Nice question.
Nah.
Bro, I've always wanted to have one.
But can I tell you something funny?
Yeah.
Most of us as guys, not taking a test, most of us got our virginity took by an older girl.
By choice.
That's just how it goes.
No, I'm saying by choice. No, I'm not saying that you were
Well,
violated.
even if it wasn't, Susanzani.
No, but did you choose an older woman? Did
It
you
just-
think about the fact that she's more experienced, so she'll know?
No,
what to do?
yeah, it just happened.
It
It just happens.
Yeah,
It just
it
happened.
just happens. When I really think of it, like, I didn't plan that it should have been her, but it just happened.
like,
Yeah.
Ngicabanga namanje ngithi ngiyadenka ukuthi yanqoba yamfana ngiyolanda inkomo yasekhaya ngiyaphi
Yeah.
So we're just saying, Uguti, in society, the one that we live in at least is when, like obviously, it's a woman. Oh, why do we see her naked? Like there's an ulterior, deep, dark motive. Bantu wanted to do this, you know.
Go.
I don't know. Isn't that what you
She
said?
is older. But she's an older woman.
How old is she?
She's in her late
She's
50s.
in her late 50s.
Oh.
But-
Ugogo,
no.
wabantu.
Okay, fine.
Oh, that's what you did.
No, but I wanted to know, Uguti, then why is it such a it's such an issue when you see more women
standing
or
up for each
yes
other.
and you see more advocacy because we put in the effort, we put in the manpower. So Manja, if you say
support.
that, so well, okay, manpower, yeah, I guess manpower. But then why do you fault us in you men neglecting our issues and them not being recognized?
No, you're looking
in,
at this through the
in
pers-
more platforms, right?
Yeah.
So if men would speak more, as little as it is, isn't danger that might seem like, oh, why should I care about this? You should care about another man being violated by a woman. You should. No, you should. You should. Because as much as, yes, that's...
We should once again, and not what is.
No, you should care.
The sky should be green. It really should be green.
No, but I'm saying, no, but Manje, you're making... Velo, you're not understanding my point.
I'm listening.
My point
I'm
is
listening.
that,
I'm just not agreeing.
As little as that issue might be or insignificant in your life,
Yeah.
right? It destabilizes some man's psyche
Yes,
when
what-
they find themselves in that position. And one man's psyche being destabilized can destabilize another. And another and another. Why? It's because we don't live alone in the society.
No, we
right?
don't, but then
So you live-
stereotypes-
So I might be umuntu that's in a position. I'm being destabilized, right?
Yeah.
I might be in a position of power. What do you think? My mental state not being in a place where I can reason properly.
Applies
and another one.
with the exact opposite. I'm saying, Muguti, this, I completely hear you and I agree with you, right? I agree in the sense, Uguti, I hear the point you're relaying and you're trying to make. But I feel, Uguti, that's based on not a hypothetical situation, but you are basing the majority on a minority. Meaning, Uguti, yes, that probably does happen and it could affect that person. But that's not the reality for most. So when I'm nonchalant in my response to what you're saying, it's kind of pushing the point of like, well, I already know the truth of like men issues. Yeah, there's already the stigma and preconceived notions that society has. So why would we give a preference? What would happen to women? Why would we act as if like, yeah, all the men are going through it, so we must pay attention because we never know? I get the forward thinking. I get the idea of a man has changed and evolved to 2022, but a lot of men are still trying to do the basics, and not everyone can have that privilege, that filter privilege of we're looking at the world through this. Yes, it probably does happen, but we were laughing just now saying most of us got our virginities took by girls who are older than us. That's a societal norm. It's not like it can't work the other way around. Ukuthi, yeah, mhlampe wena ubumncane, and then you know what I mean. It's wrong now. So we can't have the same standards as most females. Is what I'm trying to relay in my response to that. So it's pointless to base Uguti. Well, it does happen in this situation, but that's not the reality for most people.
Oh, what do you think about that?
Just don't care about it.
Really?
Yeah, no, this
Exactly.
I don't, bro. I
Exactly.
just don't care about it. I swear to God.
This makes me feel like it's so unfortunate because it makes
Why?
me feel like that's why most issues that men go through, that's why they sweep under the
What-
rug.
what-
Because we live in a society of
This is
not caring about
this is related but not related.
issues of
This is related but not related. A man with many women or something like a sex tape. What do we think of him? What's your first initial response? Like a person who sleeps with a lot of girls and stuff like that. What's your initial response? Be honest.
Well, as much as
You're smart.
it's exactly what I was thinking too. Maybe it's a bit of a player.
He's a player. You sure? Abo Bamfi, like Casanova. Abo, who's he
Then
with
why-
now?
why
No.
did you
Let
wanna
me
change
let me
the
fi-
narrative,
let me
though?
finish my point. No. I said it's related but not.
Yeah.
A lady that does the same. What do we think?
Right.
No. I'm asking. I'm asking, and I'm saying, Uguti, those natural responses that you had to those questions I asked is the reason he's saying he doesn't care, because it's unfortunate. Like we were brought up on ideas like men don't cry or indoda ekhali, amandla endoda awapheli. Like I can go on and on and on. So we've been built a certain way, and yes, you are saying, but it should change, and this stuff does happen,
Yeah.
but for our society to function, we still kind of have to fulfill our roles. Doesn't matter what tribe, what ethnicity you are, there's a common truth for what makes a man and a lady a lady.
So then, okay, with that being said. So then how do we work through some of those unfortunate situations that men find themselves in? You know, because...
That man needs to hit the gym or something.
No, because sometimes those there's imbalances, right? Those facts of who do I talk to? I'm not okay mentally. I'm not okay physically. I feel like indoda ekhali. Next minute we see these cases such as Umuntu, like Rick. We saw him many videos of him so excited, looked like he was enjoying life, but he was obviously having some internal battles with himself that he felt maybe ngiyacabangela that he could not necessarily talk to his wife about it, right? He can't talk to his boys about it. Who does he talk to, right? So how do you deal with situations like that?
No, I think, you see, this is actually a bit swag because like we all love that. Well, I didn't even want to bring that up, but it's like it just got so serious. But I kind of disagree because he spoke on it on the music. You hear it in all his songs. You hear the cry for help. You hear the plea for help. And obviously people only close. Like, I don't even feel right talking about this, but I'm kind of just saying, Uguti, this is my point. Society doesn't care. So, he was expressing himself. He had it all figured out, but... Yeah,
Everybody's
well,
gonna
doesn't-
go on with their day.
Exactly. And I'm
as
not
usual.
trying to sit over here and come with the answers or this or that. But I'm saying, Andile, that's the society we live in. So you can be frustrated all you want. It's sad, and I don't have the answer to say, Guti, this is what you must do, and I don't think anyone has. Whether like even if you look at our elders and this world that we're living in that they fought for, no one has got the answers on how to do it correctly. But that's why we always encourage this be in control of your own reality, however you do that, and just try make it make sense for you.